Labour has won the 2024 election. Not only have they won, they have absolutely smashed it out of the park. It is what they call a Labour landslide, maybe a super majority. Certainly Keir Starmer, a very happy man.
Change begins now.
Hey guys, it's Harry here from Free Leaseholders. The next 12 months is going to be an exceedingly exciting time to be a leaseholder, and for anyone else who needs to see a decisive end to the housing crisis. We've just come out of the general election, and tomorrow is the King's Speech, the big day. The media have erected all their tents over here for wall-to-wall coverage, and they've locked down Westminster to stop the barbarians from getting through the gates. Now, we don't know what's going to be in that King's Speech tomorrow. This new Labour government run an exceedingly tight ship, no leaks allowed. But here are some reasons to be cheerful. Firstly, the general election was an end of history moment for residential leasehold in England and Wales. 24.1 million of you voted for political parties that use their manifestos to commit the new government to taking action against leasehold. That was Labour, that was the Conservatives, that was the Liberal Democrats, and Reform UK. On what other issue is there that level of consensus? And Labour have the mandate, the second biggest parliamentary majority in 100 years. And they were unambiguous through the election campaign and in their manifesto that they'd be tackling the vested interests and inertia that has held back this country for too long and blocked economic growth and social mobility. Leasehold, that is key. In their manifesto, they said that they would go where the Conservatives have failed and finally bring an end to the feudal leasehold system. And thirdly, Labour have the policies and the personnel to deliver a fresh bill in the King's Speech tomorrow. Because we've been able to ascertain in recent weeks that were it not for the snap general election, there were reams and reams of government amendments ready to go to beef up the Leasehold and Freehold Reform Act 2024, or bill as it was then known, with a cap on ground rent, a ban on forfeiture, and introduce common hold fixes. The Tories shortchanged us at the last minute. Those are waiting with officials at the newly christened M8CLG. So Labour have those policies, quick wins that they can enact. And we're not back to square one, training up new housing ministers, leaving them to get their feet under the table and learn the ropes. No. Leasehold is one of the last bastions of a class society. Angela Rayner is fired up to take on the old boys' networks and redistribute power and wealth.
But let me turn to another Tory housing failure. Leaseholds are a rip-off and a con. But the government's proposed ban on new leaseholds applies only to houses. The majority of leaseholds are in flats. What's the point on a ban on new leaseholds if it won't apply to flats?
And Matthew Pennycutt, he's been on the housing beat for years now. And he cares, and he has that laser beam focus. He can drill down into the detail, as we saw through the passage of LAFRA. And he was going where the Tories didn't even dare, moving some fantastic amendments for Labour that he can now bring into force. Now he and Labour are in power. But the really key story that's been underreported here is that Free Leaseholders and our members are out there supporting Labour parliamentary candidates. They're a lot more sympathetic to this agenda than many Conservatives. And the fact is that Labour have that political opportunity structure now to deliver on this agenda. We were at Labour YIMBY launch event last week, and there was so much energy about the 1.5 million new homes, but also an understanding that they cannot be leasehold debt trap tenancies. And on that note, here are some words from our new Prime Minister.
Labour have in the past said that they want to end the medieval leasehold. I know people would like to hear you publicly commit to this, and if Labour get into power, would you commit to bringing forward legislation in the first King's Speech to enact all of the Law Commission recommendations, including ground rent caps?
Let me publicly recommit to it then, so that you've got that, and got it on camera, and there's no ambiguity about it, because we've long said that it is a medieval way of doing business. It bears down on people. It's very, very expensive. So we have to end it. Whether we can get it into the first King's Speech, I don't know. I don't want to promise you that. We will do it as soon as we can, and we may well be able to do it that quickly. We may well be able to do it that quickly. We may well be able to do it that quickly.